Hello and welcome to Cosmic Commentary's Real Football Podcast, where we bring football to people of all shapes and sizes and make football great again. Today was a bit unscripted, but we ended up speaking about a couple of just transfer delights looking for next season. Timo Werner and Erling Braut Haaland. What a player he is. Of course, that was in the context of the Champions League, the games that have been played this week, and the context of those ties. We had a Europa League summary as well and discussed a little bit about the effects of the coronavirus on some postponements this week before we ended it with a summary of the EPL action, which was quite significant this week. So, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alright, Cod, so it's just us today. And we didn't really didn't pay much attention to the footballing world this week, did we?
We did not, because last week we had our esteemed guest, Craig.
Yeah, it just took all the adrenaline out of us.
Well, we were very curious as to what he had to say about Newcastle and English football in general, and the English culture around football. But
it's a great app. It's good fun.
This week we're back. We're focusing on football. Champions League happened, which I don't think we mentioned last week.
No, I think we mentioned it in passing, but nothing in too much depth. And obviously the Premier League had a very big week this week. There were 3 big fixtures. I don't even know where to start. We'll start with the Champions League, which we missed last week. And there's a bit of bearing onto this week. 2 English teams played, 2 Italian teams, or was it just the one?
It was 2. It was 2.
Wait, was it 2?
No, it was 1.
That was
it
one.
Was 1, yeah.
The only one that counts. The only one that's got hope for the... No.
Yeah, the other team I was thinking of was Inter, but... Yeah.
Who was the... Because there were... right, there was Dortmund.
There was Dortmund, yes,
I knew it was the team that we cared about.
Yes. Yeah, we do care about Dortmund. Especially a certain Norwegian that's gone there recently in January. But
Alright, so let's go into... First of all, the English teams. They both lost 1-0.
Yeah.
Liverpool was at Atletico. Tottenham was at home to Leipzig. Leipzig. I'm not sure. Different people pronounce it differently.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
They know what we're talking about.
But I think it is Leipzig,
it's
though.
It's the Red Bull.
I do believe it's the Red Bull.
The Red Bull of Germany.
The Red Bull that's in the German Red Bull.
Yeah.
They played a good game.
They're a good team. They're a good team. They're right challenging Bayern for the Bundesliga title.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
Very up there.
I reckon they're going to push Bayern all the way this season.
Timo Werner, their main striker.
No, he's a gun.
Lots of rumours flowing about him potentially coming to Liverpool. I don't think it'll come through because he wants to play. And he said that himself.
He wants to play. Well, he can go to Manchester United, maybe, or something like that.
Well, some people are saying he should go to Manchester United or Chelsea first, and that's just silly.
Oh, as a stepping stone to Liverpool. Right, yeah, okay.
That's ridiculous. He's not going to Liverpool if he goes there. I think the time of Liverpool buying Chelsea players is long gone.
Yeah.
However, he's basically said, and Jurgen Klopp's pitched in on it too, because you just have to.
Yeah,
you get asked so many times, you have to say something eventually, and you let something slip. But Werner basically said, Liverpool are a great side, etc., etc. But I don't think I am at the level yet where I can go in there. That's like I would love to play for them.
I respect that.
But I'm not there yet.
I respect that. He's in a good place at the moment, playing good football. He wants to keep that going.
But he's grounded as well.
He's grounded. I like that. Yeah.
And Klopp said something along the lines of, and this gives you a bit of a clue of what the dynamics are going, because you can't believe the words they say, but if
Klopp is always good value when he says something.
But if you take the context of it all, it starts to paint a picture. Klopp said that being, Liverpool where it is right now, it's like a double-edged sword, because part of it's good because you get to talk to basically any player you want because the doors are open, but it's harder to sign players because people want to actually play. And because the team's playing so well, there aren't, let's just say, many openings for people to just walk in and play. So, on one hand, it makes things easier to start the conversation, but on the other hand...
Yeah, no, he's got a point. He's got a very good point.
And this implies saying, because Timo Werner, this is where it was brought up, and it implies that he's, they've had the potential to have talks with Timo Werner, but he doesn't want to come because he's saying, look, play. Guys,
as all players, I want to play. I want to play.
I want to be a first-team player.
Now, Timo Werner, I should know this, but I don't. Is he an actual striker, or is he a midfielder slash striker?
No, he's second in the Bundesliga behind Lewandowski.
Okay, so he's a striker.
I think he's on 20 goals. Lewandowski 25.
Yeah, look, it's very hard to break into that front three with them all working so well. It's very hard.
Yeah, but he has said that he believes that his playing style would fit in well with Liverpool as well. So he seems to think he sees himself as like, I could play there, but look, I got to play.
That's true. And if he was to go to Liverpool, it's good competition for the players, because then the front three are like, if we drop our game, we're going to be shipped off to the bench. Well, so it is good competition for the team, but he wants to play. Obviously, they all want to play.
Yeah, and that's good. And Klopp has also hinted in the sense saying that, look, like at the moment we've got these spots, but in 2-3 years that might change.
Yeah.
So hinting towards
he's
future things. But I think Werner's.
But by then, who knows?
By then I think he'll be like 28 or something like that.
Real Madrid might
probably the opportunity will have passed by then. But yeah, there's a bit of a criteria on Leipzig's main man.
Yep.
So they'll take a 1-0 lead to Germany. So
look, the way they're going, the way Tottenham are going, it's not looking,
it's tough.
It's not looking good for Tottenham, really.
Well, actually,
but Mourinho is the manager, so you can never count him out. But
Tottenham were pretty,
Leipzig are good.
Well, they were pretty on top in that game, Tottenham. But but Leipzig got the goal and Tottenham didn't. So we will talk about Tottenham a bit more later on, because they played a big game against Chelsea in the Premier League, which was the opener.
There was the good opener. Good opening there for Tottenham-Chelsea. Yeah.
The other English team, of course, in the Champions League, Liverpool with Atletico. An interesting tie.
Well, I mean, like I said before when I saw the draw come out, Atletico is the worst opponent to get, especially for a side like Liverpool. And look, Atletico at home are very strong. We know that, and
especially defensively.
And they're hard to beat at home. They're really hard to beat. But the worst thing that could have happened to Liverpool happened. And
Atletico got a 4th minute goal.
4th minute goal, and I'm like, look, Atletico came out of the blocks pretty hard. They went pushing for that goal very hard, and Liverpool just looked off for those first 5 minutes. And the worst thing that could happen, they conceded, and I'm like, well, good luck breaking this team down.
Yeah,
and they couldn't
break them down.
Look at Anfield. Granted, at Anfield it'll be different. Liverpool at home much stronger. Atletico will have to contend with a lot more. But
they have to not concede.
Yeah, if they concede, then it's going to be really
very difficult.
I'm not going to
possible.
It's possible, but I'm not.
But difficult.
Very difficult.
And if they do concede, but end up going through, it'll be an amazing game. At least for a Liverpool fan to watch.
For everyone, I think.
Except for Atleti fans.
There's
a lot of those.
Except for Atleti fans. But I think they just have to be patient and get that goal, and then hopefully they can get a second one. But they can't be overly pushing too much either, because that can cause problems at the other end. And Atletico have good strikers.
Yeah. So Costa looks like he's potentially not. Well, then again, it's not for another.
Well, if Costa's playing, I'd be worried. Morata's a bit. Okay,
I'm not worried about Morata.
Yeah, but look, he can score, but...
I know he can, but
you'd
I'm not
be
worried
less...
about Morata.
Yeah, but if Costa's playing, then they'll be...
I'm actually happy Morata's in the team, because if he gets he's the kind of player who... Well, he actually had a good chance to make it 2-0, and he didn't do it. And that's why I like him exactly where he is. Just sitting up front, taking up those opportunities. They think there's a chance by passing to him, but in reality...
Well, now that he's listened to what you've said, he's probably going to score.
I don't think his English is that good.
No, it's a joke, Mike. He's listening to our podcast, and he's going to score.
Yeah, karma will get me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be an interesting game for many reasons. But the other two games, some foreign teams. One of them, which gave me great glee and got you a bit giddy as well.
Yeah, did it?
Atalanta 4-1 at home against Valencia. They tore them apart.
Yeah, I was messaging you throughout the game, and at the start I was extremely frustrated because they missed 2 easy shots on goal.
According to Cos, it should have been 6-0 by half-time.
It should have been 6-0, but really the game should
half-time.
By half-time. But the game should have actually ended like 7-3 or something because Valencia had some really good chances
at the end.
But I conveniently just stopped. I didn't really look at the screen when I was doing other things, and I only looked up when the crowd made some noise. So I didn't actually see Valencia's chances. But no, look, this tie is not over. Because
no, it's not.
It was 4-1, but it didn't feel like a 4-1. Valencia can score. The way the Atalanta play, Valencia can come back.
You know, this reminds me of that game when... there were a couple of games this reminds me of, but one of them was the Liverpool-Barcelona game where Liverpool lost 3-0 in the first leg, but it didn't feel like a 3-0 result. It felt a lot closer. And I feel like there was a game with Manchester City, I think it was against Dynamo Kiev or something like that, where they won the first leg with some sort of frantic, I think it was like 4-3 or 3-2 or something like that. And then in the second leg they lost by a goal, but with less goals in it, so they got knocked out on away goals.
Oh, right. Yeah,
or it was like, or Dynamo won by 2 goals or something like that. So it was just another one of those games where, because so many goals are being scored, anything can happen, and when you're playing in the other team's backyard, things can get a little bit difficult.
I think Atalanta will go through.
They actually travel quite well.
They travel well and they score heavily, so I can't see Valencia keeping a clean sheet.
I can't see Valencia keeping them out. That's the key.
But they'll probably lose the game, but not the tie. I would say maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think Valencia were pretty bad.
Look, defensively they were bad, but going forward they should have finished some of those chances.
That's not because of Valencia good though, because Atalanta were just porous at the back. They are porous at the back, but they can afford to be. So they can. The way they attack. I think they'll go through.
Yeah,
but the big game, Dortmund versus PSG.
Yes.
And people weren't sure what to think here. I won't say convinced that Dortmund was going to win, but I definitely felt that they should have been the favourites for this one.
Yeah.
And PSG got sort of a bit of an opportunistic goal, really.
Mbappe, I believe it was.
I can't remember how it went down exactly. Yeah, it was Neymar. He did a bit of work and then got a bit of a fortunate... it was one of those ones where he dribbled into a player, but then it sort of bounced off his leg and went in front of him, and then basically he had...
it ricocheted off the player.
Ricocheted off the player.
Conveniently just kept going in his path.
Landed right in front of Neymar, and Mbappe was just waiting there for the tap-in pretty much.
Yeah.
So it was a bit fortunate. But then 2 quality goals from Haaland.
I mean, this man... is he a man? I'm starting to think he's not a man.
He isn't. He's still a boy. He's 19.
No, he's not human. I was going down those lines. He's something else, this guy.
It's just a monster.
That second goal was amazing.
Oh, that was
beautiful. Power into the corner.
It looked a lot nicer, like if you don't see it from behind, because it looked like it was top corner. It was probably well in.
So good.
Probably like half a metre from the post, but it was just, and it was so unexpected. I mean, this guy is just, the first goal was nice because it was good movement.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about Haaland. Is he's gigantic. This is Peter Crouch guy, but he moves like...
No, he's very good movement. Agile for a big man.
Who am I thinking of? Like a striker that just makes these great movements away, like
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane actually does these things quite well too.
Yeah, he does.
But he's not. He's more mobile than Harry Kane, isn't he?
I don't know if he's more mobile, but he's definitely he's bigger, isn't he?
I think so. But Harry Kane is pretty big too.
Yeah, I know. That's not to take away Harry Kane, but
it's like a slightly taller and slightly more agile Harry Kane. You know, like that's a pretty good combination.
Yeah, this guy's a freak.
And people are sort of discounting his goals because he scored a lot of goals in Austria, right? He also scored a lot of goals in Norway, right? And And I looked at it.
Okay. So, he's scoring. But then when he started scoring in the Champions League against quality opposition, you have to take note. This guy's good.
Be like, but he plays for Salzburg, right?
Who cares?
It's just,
wouldn't that make it harder to score?
Yeah, that's the thing that people miss out on.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not thinking straight. But Haaland, oh my god! I like ever since I saw him, I looked him up.
Yeah.
Because obviously Liverpool played against Salzburg in the group stages of the Champions League, so you just pay attention more to teams that you play against.
Of course.
But the first game, Liverpool played against Napoli, and Salzburg played against Genk, right? And they beat them like 5-2 or something like that. Haaland scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, oh, that's interesting. So I'll take a look at this guy, see what the... Whoa, he's
huge.
What is... no, I didn't realise how big he was yet.
Oh, okay.
But I was looking at his stats.
That's the first thing I saw.
And obviously in Norway, he scored a lot of goals. I'm thinking, okay, right? Like he's... So Norway, like he's clearly...
He's dominating there.
Okay, flat track bully. He's doing well. And then... He moved
to Austria. Was it that was the next move to Salzburg?
He moved to Salzburg, but he'd only been there. That was
his first season at Salzburg.
He didn't make it through the whole season because he got picked up by Dortmund halfway through. But the goal scoring, like I thought, Norwegian league, it's the lower standard than the Austrian league. He'll slow down a bit. I think he got faster. I think he scored more goals per game in Austria than he did in Norway, or close to it anyway.
Man.
Anyway, it was more than a goal a game.
You cannot stop the guy. How do you stop this? Anyway, keep going.
And then he went to Dortmund, right? And people are thinking,
now he's going to slow down.
He's going to slow down, surely.
Yeah.
And then and I just thought,
in his
mate, he scored in every group stage game except for the last one, which was at Anfield against Liverpool.
That's terrible.
And not many teams. Not many teams have not scored there, let alone
a player.
He scored in all the other. Granted, a few of them were penalties, but he just you can't stop.
Bro,
if he decides he's going to score, he will score.
Yeah, in the first few games for Dortmund, he came off the bench, less time. He still puts it in the net.
he scored a hat trick coming off the bench.
Yeah,
on his debut for Dortmund.
Yeah,
and granted that they weren't the greatest teams in the Bundesliga, but he scored a hat trick off the bench on his debut.
Have they made a shrine for him already? Just like Haaland.
Also, he'd only been with the team for maybe a couple weeks. He hadn't even trained with them.
He's a natural. He's just a natural. I can't explain. This is crazy.
I mean, I can explain it.
Well, it's crazy.
But what I can't explain, I can explain that too. But people saying that, it's nothing special yet. But from the moment I saw him,
this is pretty special.
Even in the Champions League, when he scored that hat trick against Genk, right?
Mate, even if this guy stops scoring from now and doesn't score again, what he's done will be talked about in years to come. It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit like when Harry Kane first came onto the scene. People sort of thought, all right, let's see him do it again next season. This guy's accelerating, if anything.
Yeah.
He's revving up the goals per game ratio.
He could play anywhere. He doesn't matter who he play. He'll play anywhere.
He's been in the Bundesliga for about a month.
A month, yeah.
Right? And he's already, he's already, I think, fourth in the goal-scoring charts.
Yeah. He's only behind Werner, Lewandowski.
He's played 5 games. If that, I don't know if he's even played 5 games, and 2 or 3 of them were off the bench. So this guy's incredible.
No, he is.
But he scored both the goals against PSG.
Yeah,
bringing it slightly back on topic. At
the moment the game is the tie is not nicely poised at 2-1 lead to Dortmund
with Haaland in your team.
But that's the thing, going into the second leg, as good as PSG are, this man is dangerous.
And I mentioned that we talked about the German league briefly because nobody really you'll get fond of it. Don't worry.
Fond of what?
Oh, the German league.
No, I'm
no, not you. I mean, our listeners. You'll get fond of it over time.
The German league's fun to watch. Actually.
Yeah,
they play an entertaining style, physical. It's a bit similar to the Premier League, really.
And you've got this 3.5 horse race for the title now.
Yeah.
And the reason I threw Dortmund into it as a genuine possibility now, literally just because they signed Haaland, and he is just... He literally...
Yes, they're
if he
4
decides,
points. They're 4 points back from Bayern, but they're right in it.
Yeah.
They're right in the race.
If he decides he wants to score a goal, he will score a goal. So it's like, you can't set up defensively to stop him unless you stop him getting the ball. That's
Basically,
literally the only way.
I think,
because
I agree with it.
He can't dribble, like he can't take on players. Like he can still.
No, he's technically
he can knock it past players.
He's okay.
And
he's adequate.
okay.
He's adequate.
But he's not the kind of player who can pick up the ball from halfway.
Oh no,
he's not. He's not.
He's not. No.
So the only way to stop him really is to stop him from getting the ball, and that is very hard because he is big.
He's huge.
You could just
lump
the ball to him. And he,
like I said, if I was a central defender, hey, mate, just go ahead. I don't want to go to hospital. Just go ahead. No, he's nigh on unstoppable.
So that tie is currently sitting at Haaland 2, PSG 1.
Yeah.
We'll see how that second one... I really hope that PSG get knocked out because it's just...
I just want to see...
funny.
It's not even about PSG. I just want to see more of Haaland.
I
just want to see this guy go as far as he can. And I want Norway to make the Euros.
And
off top.
PSG, yeah, don't know where to make the Euros. Yeah, but PSG are just like one of those annoying teams that someone will eventually knock them out, but you don't want to be the team that has to do it because it's always going to be hard. They'll stuff
good.
up.
No, look, they're a good team.
And if you're a good team, then they'll turn it up,
Yeah.
And then lose 6-1 at Barcelona. But anyway, Barcelona's got to take both sides of that.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, that's how the Champions League looks at the moment. There's going to be games coming up this midweek as well. We've got Juventus playing.
Lyon's playing Juventus in Lyon.
Potential for a postponement.
Potential postponement or potential that
scare.
Yeah, well, in Italy it's pretty bad at the moment.
It's really.
It's not in the region where Juventus are from, but they did postpone a game in the City.
But this one's in France, isn't it?
This one's in France.
Yes.
So I'm thinking. Like I was just about to say, they postponed a game in Torino.
Yes.
On the
a lot
weekend.
of games were postponed.
A lot of the games, all the ones in the north were pretty much postponed. So there may be like a travel. Maybe the Juve fans won't be allowed to travel to France.
So explain the other Italian fixture. We've got Napoli playing.
Napoli's playing Barcelona
at
home. But the virus, if we're talking about the virus, it's not in the south of Italy. So I think that game is going to go ahead. It's pretty much contained in the north. So.
But you mentioned something about a stadium.
No. That was this is the Europa League. Inter Milan.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, yes.
If you want me to explain.
Yeah, Europa League.
Yeah, Europa League.
They have feelings too.
They have feelings too. Of course, Inter Milan are playing Ludogorets, the Bulgarian side. They really should go through. They won 2-0 in Bulgaria the other week, but
because Europa League's already
that game is going to be played behind closed doors. So effectively, there'll be no fans at all inside the stadium. It'll just be Inter, Ludogorets, and silence. And that's it. But just because of the virus, that's what they're doing.
So Inter's being punished basically for basically
for people getting sick
because of the contagiousness of.
Well, yeah. Well, no, it's a serious look. It's a serious issue. If they have to do it, they have to do it. But
well, I heard that in Italy, they just don't know what's because they got difficulty with the incubation period, which is how long it takes the disease to actually start affecting people. They just can't figure out where it came from, so therefore they can't figure out how to stop it because
a lot of people are in quarantine in their own homes, and if they're caught walking outside, they'll actually get fined. So it's actually quite serious. It's quite serious over there.
It's a very difficult.
And matches are also getting postponed in the south of Italy and in the centre from teams coming up from the north. So if you've got a home game against like Milan, for example, that match will get postponed.
Yeah,
because they don't want the Milans coming down to the other parts of Italy. So it's quite serious. Yeah.
Jeez, it's been a bit difficult for football fixtures lately because there's obviously this coronavirus which is holding off games. There were those storms before as well, which postponed
in England, and the Netherlands copped it as well.
Netherlands copped it really bad.
Yeah.
A lot of those games got postponed. I think one or two German games.
Yeah.
Potentially, I think a game in France as well got postponed.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of disruptions going on there. Haven't seen something like this for a while. I remember a few years back there was a really cold winter, which a lot of stadium just froze over and they
I remember there was one, when probably about 10 years ago or something, like in England, it just snowed everywhere, and they had to postpone all the matches for one whole week.
For the whole week?
The whole of England. No, the whole of England was. I think only one game went ahead because the stadium had good heating under it, like super good. Otherwise, every other game was postponed.
I remember slightly more recently there was something similar, but I think a couple games just didn't go through because the stadiums just didn't have the heating. Because I think they developed the heating because of that other winter. But I think so, some of the newer teams that came up didn't have that heating yet.
Yeah.
And they couldn't deal with it, so they had to postpone the game. But they got through. Manchester City actually had that postponement as well.
Yeah.
But we'd already mentioned that game as well. It cut their holiday short by I think 2 or 3 days. Poor Man City.
Yeah, poor Man City.
Well, I feel worse for West Ham, but
Man City actually are playing this week against Real Madrid.
Oh yes,
in the Champions League. That's going to be a good tie. Yeah.
Pep Guardiola talking up Real Madrid as well, calling them the kings of Europe.
Oh yes, of course. Yes,
he's basically talking about it as if Man City are the underdogs.
Well, that's what he's going for, isn't he? He's trying to
taking the pressure off.
He's taking the pressure off.
Putting the pressure on Real Madrid.
I'm not so sure that's going to work, but the way Real are going, they're a bit dodgy themselves this season.
Oh, they're very dodgy.
Yeah,
the whole league is dodgy. So there's a bit of hope for Napoli against Barcelona.
There is, and look, Napoli are starting to find some form, but Barcelona are too. So you'd expect Barcelona.
I don't think Barcelona are finding form as much as Messi is. He scored 4 goals the other week.
Messi's back in form, and they signed this striker as well. Braithwaite is Danish, but apparently he's linking up well with the other strikers in the team. So they're looking. So he's going to be that sort of player. And so look, Barcelona will go through. I would
it's
imagine
a bit early,
so.
but like early stages.
And,
you think that
and the other game is Chelsea against Bayern Munich. So looking very ominous for the English teams here.
But Chelsea have been a real just thorn in everyone's side this season.
Well, they have.
They've won all the games they're not expected to win,
and
they've lost all the games that they're sort of. Or drawn the games that they're not necessarily.
That's true.
Even the big games, right? Like,
but now we're playing Bayern Munich, and this is a step up from what.
Bayern has upped their game since the start of the season, but we'll get a feel for just how good Bayern is at the moment. But they've got to be solid defensively. I think that's the key to beating Chelsea. You got to be. If you're good at the back,
you have to be. Yeah.
You'll get them.
Yeah,
because they'll shoot themselves in the foot at some point in the game.
That's right. I think Bayern will...
much like a few of the games in the Premier League this week. But I think that rounds off the Champions League nicely.
That's exciting fixtures, though. We're getting into this Champions League.
There is. Yeah. Do you think we will do a quick run through Europe, very quick.
Very quick.
Because
let's do some quick tips here.
Quick tips.
I like them. Yeah, just see who's going to go through.
Oh, well, all right.
And there's going to be no sort of analysis. I'm just going to run off my feelings. So this will be entertaining.
Okay, so we've got that's 16 games to run through. Yeah. All right. Cluj Sevilla.
Do not bet on what I'm saying because it's just completely.
Oh yeah, this is pure emotion, nothing to do with any logic.
No analysis. Cluj Sevilla. Look, we've got to go for the Romanians here. Let's go for Cluj. Come on, Cluj.
With Sevilla taking a 1-1 draw.
I don't care about that.
To the home game.
I'm just going. Anyway, I'm going for Cluj.
Manchester United Bruges. Manchester United advantage. Look, I'll make the call. Executive call. Manchester United.
Yeah, we'll go Man United.
Salzburg, Frankfurt. I think Frankfurt's going to take it because they're 4-1 down after the first leg, and they've lost Haaland and Minamino.
No, Frankfurt's
they're good, but they're not that good. And Frankfurt are actually
you got to go for
quite strong.
You got to go for the Frankfurts.
You got it. Yeah. Celtic, Copenhagen. If Celtic care, they'll go through. But,
is there only one other option? What is Celtic mean?
Celtic.
Come on, Celt.
Getafe and Ajax. That's.
Oh, you got to go Ajax. But Getafe.
Unfortunately, I think
it's not. No, it's not over.
It isn't.
Getafe is 2-0. Ajax, man.
Inter taking a 2-0 lead to Italy.
Well, I've got
to an empty stadium.
Well, Inter.
Donetsk, Benfica. I'm sorry, I don't care.
Yeah, I really don't care either.
No offense. Seriously, no offense. But honestly, who cares?
Yeah,
Portugal, Istanbul, I'm sorry. No interest. Wolves, Espanyol. Wolves will go through. They're taking a 4-0 lead in.
Yeah, Wolves.
Too good.
Yeah.
AZ Alkmaar against Lask from Austria, I believe.
It is Austrian.
Alkmaar will probably go down, but then again, they're a very dangerous side, so Lask better be on their game.
Absolutely. But,
yep.
I would prefer...
I want AZ to go through, though, because I love the Dutch.
You're the Dutch.
I love the Dutch. Bayer Leverkusen taking a 2-1 lead to Portugal against Porto. Porto seem to have just thrown away the European football this season. I'm backing Bayer Leverkusen to just hold them off. They just need to hold them off, really.
Yeah.
Olympiacos taking a 1-0 deficit to London to play Arsenal.
They're gone.
Arsenal will go through.
Yeah, they're gone.
Arsenal will go through. Rangers, the mighty Rangers. Okay, this is the one game I just want to go into.
Yeah.
Because Rangers were 2-0 down in this game at home.
Thought the stadium was going to...
I was watching that game, right?
Well, I saw the highlights. I thought the stadium was going to collapse when they got in front.
Oh, jeez.
It was bad.
Watching that game, Braga was all over them. Just completely just... Rangers looked completely outclassed. And when they scored the second, I just thought, oh, this is done. Rangers scored 8 minutes later to make it 2-1.
Yep.
And the goals were terrible. All of Rangers' goals were just awful.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I think at home Braga will...
Well, Braga will go through for sure, almost certainly. But yeah, like Cos was saying, that stadium looked like it was going to fall apart. That camera looked like it was just an excited 5-year-old holding it.
Incredible scenes.
But those are fixed cameras. Those cameras are fixed, and it was shaking like an earthquake. I thought Gerrard was just going to just disappear into the ground at some stage. Yeah. It was insane scenes there, and I'm just glad that the Rangers fans could just live that moment, that happiness.
They'll never forget it. They will never forget that.
That was nuts. They got the winner in the 82nd minute, so it wasn't as dramatic as it could have been, but it was just fantastic atmosphere. And I hope they go through, to be honest. I don't think they will.
The Rangers will be... If they go, I wouldn't be complaining if they do. But I think the way the match actually went... Yeah,
the Rangers should have lost that game.
Braga looks stronger.
Yeah, definitely. Basel, Upperwell. Basel will go through just because... they won 3-0 away. What do you expect? Wolfsburg, Malmo. Don't know.
The Swedish.
But let's go... Wolfsburg's pretty weak, but I don't know. They're a German team.
Let's go Malmo. Get the Swedish.
Yeah, let's get the Swedes going. And finally, Roma against Kent. They should hold them off. They're Italian if they want to.
Well,
if they want to, Roma will go through.
If they want to, that's the.
If they play some weaker team, they're going to go out. So that's done. We move in to England, where the Premier League had a. This is an exciting fixture list, I've got to say.
It was a good week in the Premier League for fixtures.
The opener had Chelsea against Tottenham, which involved a very controversial non-red card VAR incident. You saw it?
Now,
right?
This was the one where Lo Celso, it was?
Yes, it was
stamping
Lo Celso
on the foot of on the shin of somebody.
For the record, this game ended 2-1 for Chelsea.
Chelsea wins.
Hard fought. But yes, the red card. That was...
Look.
I'm torn, I've got to say. It looks... I don't know the actual rule book, right? I don't know the rule word for word, but every time I've seen something like that, it's a straight red card. And it's not even no hesitation whatsoever.
And the fact that it was reviewed by VAR and then not given, I don't understand. I just don't get it.
So, the initial decision was not to give any card.
Yeah, okay.
Right, but then it was reviewed. They reviewed it with VAR because
it was reviewed.
Yeah, it was reviewed. And so just to describe this a bit, the eventual reasoning for not giving the red card was his foot had nowhere else to go. So basically he sort of, essentially said, but
is there any truth? Is there any truth to that? I've got to watch this again.
I don't know, but I think it's a 50-50. It could have gone either way. Basically, the end result, right? Forget about everything else that happened. Is studs into the shins. It left a pretty solid mark there. Well, they showed it on the camera. Studs onto the shins, but the defenders, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Alonso. His leg was more or less flat on the ground. and Lo Celso was sort of because Alonso made a tackle, his foot went in, and then Lo Celso sort of had his foot in the air, and he was sort of getting ready to sort of step down. It was a natural motion, if that makes sense. So it could very easily have been a genuine, because his weight was all forward. He had to put his foot down, like he was going to fall over, right? So it was a natural motion, but at the same time, it looked like he could have held back a bit on the stomping motion. You know what I mean? Because it was a very late sort of putting down of the foot. He did sort of retract his foot immediately after it happened, but it did kind of look like he was falling over, but it looked so bad, and a lot of people are just saying that should have been a straight red, but it wasn't a straight red, and it didn't cost Chelsea in the end.
Well, that's a good thing. That's the good. If it costed,
2 ways.
If it costed them, then
there was no injury. There was no. The player didn't have to come off the field, and they still won the game.
At least we can say that.
Yes,
and damage is limited, but. Man, if it costed him, it would have been a lot more.
Lampard was livid, but if that was the other way around, if that was a Chelsea player stomping on a Tottenham player, Tottenham, Mourinho would have just absolutely the funny thing is, it happened right in front of Mourinho, and the look on his face was just a sort of like a nothing to see here. It's just your average.
I wish it did happen the other way around. Just to see him go off again.
He would have been red carded. He would have certainly been red carded. There would have been a red card either way, for either him or the other player, or both. Yeah. But that game ended up 2-1. Chelsea took a 2-0 lead. Lovely goal from... they actually scored all 3 goals. Giroud scoring the first goal of the season for Chelsea. Alonso with a nice drive into the far corner, and an own goal.
That was a nice goal.
From Rudiger. From Alonso or Rudiger?
Alonso.
Yeah, he sort of drilled it left foot into the far post, and he had another shot which hit the post too. So he was on fire. He's a potential for fantasy points there, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Chelsea can't keep clean sheets. Tottenham got that late one, but they had a bit of the ascendancy at the end, but Chelsea held on and they needed to after that loss at home to Manchester United the week before. Had they lost this game, they would have been out of the top 4. In fact, if they'd lost this game, they would have been out of the top 5, because Tottenham would have taken over them, and also Manchester United would be above them on goal difference.
Yeah, that's right.
And
a big win for Chelsea.
Massive win. And a massive loss for Tottenham, really.
Yeah.
If they could at least get a draw out of that game, that could have helped them a lot. There was a real 6-pointer, that one. So that was an enormous game in terms of that context. A few games then in between, just to sort of fill in the gaps. Burnley beat Bournemouth 3-0. Palace beat Newcastle 1-0, much to the dismay of Craig. Sheffield drew against Brighton, which was not exactly surprising, because Sheffield at home...
Brighton's not a bad team either. So
and Sheffield at home just don't quite do the magic they do on the road.
Yeah.
More surprising is that Southampton won at home, because their home form has been shaky.
That is
against
true.
Aston Villa.
And good win for them.
And I don't think Danny Ings scored a goal.
No, he didn't.
That's very surprising. So they won, and Danny Ings didn't score a goal. So and he was playing too. So it's not like he wasn't there. But Long scored a goal. That's even more confusing. So lots of confusing things in that game. But Southampton got the points, 2-0, and that puts them in a very healthy position in 12th on 34 points, 10 points clear of the drop zone. So well done to Southampton.
No, they'll be fine.
What they've done,
considering the way they started the season. They've done very well.
All right, and now we get to the real juicy parts.
Yeah,
Leicester played against Man City. There weren't many goals in this game.
No, there was just the one.
It was a high quality game though.
It was.
And Leicester started off like a house on fire. Couldn't quite get the goal. Manchester City actually got a penalty, which was saved by Schmeichel.
Yeah,
wasn't the best penalty, but still, like he just.
Oh, he's a top keeper.
Because part of it is the mind games, and he won the mind games with Aguero. Saved it. Probably less than 10 minutes later, Manchester City scored anyway.
Yeah,
but Leicester had a chance just before Man City scored to score their own goal. So it was a game of sliding doors. It could have really gone either way.
It could have gone either way. City got the points,
and just like the Chelsea Tottenham game,
yeah.
I mean that would have gotten Leicester within a point of Manchester City. So it's not quite as they wouldn't have hopscotched them.
Well, look, finishing third and second is not really that much of a difference.
Yeah, but it would have helped.
Yeah.
End the season earlier, but
for Liverpool, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it would have, but not to be. Right. Then there were just a couple of whitewashes with Manchester United wiping the floor with Watford. Fernandes getting on the score sheet and on the assist chart.
Well, he's looking like a very key signing at the moment.
Well, he's look. Solskjaer has been spot on with his signings this season. I have to say, all the signings have significantly improved the team. Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, both of them have massively improved the team, and James, the young kid, 20-year-old.
Oh, they signed him. I thought he was in the youth academy. They signed him. Okay, there you go.
Signed him from Swansea, I believe.
Yeah, right.
Welsh.
Yeah.
So yeah, they won 3-0 against Watford, which.
No, look, I got to say they've done well this season.
Manchester United.
Yeah, but this season could have gone very badly.
They've definitely improved.
Yeah, absolutely. So
definitely improved. Chelsea have just had Leicester have just done something crazy.
I think the way how competitive this league is, and how young Manchester United is, that squad, there's going to be inconsistency.
Well, let's remember where Arsenal are right now.
Exactly. So I think everyone's been a bit hard on Solskjaer the way this season has panned out.
Yeah. And especially because they lost key injuries in key moments.
They did, yeah. And Pogba really hasn't played at all.
And, he hasn't played the entire season.
Pretty much. He's been anonymous.
No, I literally think he has not played for the entire season.
No, he's played a couple of games, I'm pretty sure.
Right, we have to fact check this.
Yeah, but no, he's definitely played.
He's even in games he would have played.
He's largely been anonymous, like he hasn't been there.
Right, here we go. He has played... Oh no, he's played 7 games.
Oh, 7 games. So,
and he's got a couple of assists even.
Yeah. So they haven't had him for most of the season.
I think a few of those games were off the bench too, so... I just don't remember him playing anything. Anyway, back to... and then there was Wolves following on from the Europa League 4-0 victory. Jota with... I think it's Jota. 2 goals in this one, 3 goals in the...
so 5 in 2 games.
That's against Norwich, fair enough, but you got to score them. You can only score against your opposition, and he just keeps doing it. And some really nice. I don't know if you've seen the goals.
No, nice goals.
Some bit of long range. The one in the Europa League was fantastic from long range. Chested down.
Oh, okay.
He chested it down and got it on the half. Not the half volley. It was sort of he let it bounce and then got it on the volley as it was coming down.
I've got to watch those highlights. I haven't seen it.
So it was just you look at the defender and you kind of think he could have put a bit more pressure on him, but what do you do?
I know. Yeah.
He was okay. He was a good 3 meters outside the box when he did that. And it was a long ball. It's ridiculous. The last 2 games though were the ones with the most goals. I wouldn't say the quality was the highest. Arsenal against Everton, it was a bit of a mixed bag. Everton started the scoring. Calvert-Lewin, in the first minute, scoring a goal before Arsenal hit back with 3.
Yeah.
They mean business. Aubameyang with a couple, and
Edward Nketiah.
Yeah. Who I don't know much about, but he seems to be playing a bit...
Well, he was actually on loan at Leeds in the season, and Arsenal recalled him.
Yeah. So, Arteta recalled him. And he seems to be definitely getting the vibes back up at Arsenal. I got to say, the fans seem to be on board.
Yeah, look, there's definite improvement, but the key, as I said...
But I'm not worried about Arsenal.
The key, as I said, is the season following.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Are they going to keep improving, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is just... I expected this.
Richarlison also got a consolation goal, but they couldn't quite equalise Everton. Overall, Everton had more shots, but just weren't as clinical as Arsenal. That's pretty much the difference between them.
Yep.
With their 5 strikers or so.
Yep. And
but the final game.
Yeah, in the red half of Liverpool.
The red half of Liverpool, that's right. It was a game that... and after losing to Atletico, you're expecting a reaction, right?
Well, I think their reaction was a bit... They were still shocked that they lost.
I think they were still thinking about the next leg against Atletico.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I genuinely think that because they started the game well, 9th minute goal from Wijnaldum, but then West Ham did what I don't think anyone else has done this season. They took the lead
at Anfield. Yeah,
that is something.
That's like winning the game.
I think the Napoli took the lead at Anfield too.
Well, that's
but
Napoli,
in England,
that's Champions League. I mean,
this
is
a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a different aura. But I have to say the goals that Liverpool took to win the game near the end. Salah,
well, that was a mistake.
A weak shot straight at the keeper.
Fabianski had a howler in that one.
I've got Fabianski to thank for his for his services to the motherland, to Poland, and to thank for letting in these 2 goals against Liverpool. He's very highly rated.
I don't expect him at the Euros. I think Stenson has got that sewn up.
Oh, Fabianski was out for a long time.
No,
so
Stenson's got it sewn up.
Yeah,
I can't fault him at Juventus. He's playing very well every game, consistent.
Well, he took over the mantle from Fabianski recently for Poland anyway. But that's going off topic.
Your dad will be very happy. He's at Stenson's got the number 1 anyway.
then he came out to try and cut off an assist, which, to be fair to him, should have worked. But Alexander-Arnold found a way to knock the ball past him.
Yeah,
and just get over the defender to an open Sadio Mane for an easy tap in, and getting me some more fantasy points. Well done, thank you, both of you. It ended up 3-2, and it was almost 4-2, but there was a disallowed goal, clearly offside. So there was no real issues with that one. But that I really felt that they were going to lose that game. Like it was after going ahead.
We discussed this off air, and it was Liverpool's worst performance of the season.
Maybe not of the season, but definitely since at least the Man United draw.
Yeah,
because I can't remember what happened before.
It was definitely an off game, but they'll need to improve
because they were rushing.
They need to get better for Atletico.
And I do want to just a little bit more on this because it's showing vulnerability for Liverpool right now. Liverpool haven't lost for, well, they lost the Atletico game, but they other than that game they just haven't. No one's been able to find the formula to beat them, right? And now suddenly these 2 games, vulnerabilities. The only reason they won against West Ham was because they were very poor opposition.
That's correct.
And they made it's a bit unfair on the team, but they made errors. Like it wasn't Liverpool creating those goals. It was West Ham shooting themselves in the foot twice. And if they were a better team, they probably would have maybe drawn, but I don't think they would have won that game. They were playing very poorly. They were rushing. They were impatient with their pressing. They were just sort of running at the ball and leaving gaps in behind them. And a lot of people sort of looking at it and going, because it's the first time in a while that Liverpool have sort of looked vulnerable.
Well, got behind at Anfield.
and people are thinking, oh, is this the start of a collapse? No, not a collapse.
Oh God,
not that big a collapse. I just mean, is this the start of are they going to start falling apart a bit? Obviously, they'll still win the league, but people are thinking, hey, they could lose a few in a row here.
Well, what I did like is that they did fight back, and they retook the lead to win 3-2. So they've still got that hunger and desire to
they can ramp it up.
Go the season unbeaten as well. I would say,
There's that too, and they've equalled Manchester City's winning
18 straight wins.
18 straight.
18 straight wins. They've also equalled Liverpool's longest winning sequence at home, 21 straight at home.
Yeah.
And they're 5 games off Arsenal's 49-game unbeaten run.
Yeah, and that'll coincide with, I believe, the game against Manchester City. That'll be the game that will take it to 49.
And there's also Man City's 100 points record, which they should be beating, I would imagine.
And the potential to go the season unbeaten.
And to go unbeaten. So there's a lot. There's a lot playing.
Well, they haven't broken in these.
They haven't broken anything yet, but
they're very close.
They're
to
playing,
doing
yeah.
And
there's a lot to play for.
And also, the earliest a team has won the league, in the season. Assuming they go at this rate.
Well, if they were to win the next 4 games, it's going to be funny because they'll actually clinch the league title, assuming City don't drop points.
It's probably unlikely.
Which is unlikely. They will win the league. If Liverpool were to win the next 4, and City win the next 4, then Liverpool will clinch the league title at Everton.
At Goodison Park. I know it's a friendly rivalry. People call it the friendly rivalry? I don't think they'll like that.
It'll be tested. It will definitely be tested if that's the case.
Oh dear me. There's some postponement going on now.
And Ancelotti said something about that as well. He's like, "Well, why here? There's so many stadiums you can clinch the title. Why does it have to be here? I hope it's not here."
Well, I guess that wouldn't count because Manchester City's next game is actually supposed to have been against Arsenal, but that's being postponed because of the League Cup final. They're playing against Aston Villa.
Oh, okay.
So it might actually push back how many games
celebrations
Liverpool takes. Their next game in the league, though, will be against Manchester United away.
Is this Man City?
Yes.
Well, Manchester United can help you.
With great there's great potential for Manchester City to drop some points. Then there's Burnley, and I'm just counting these 4 games. They got Chelsea away as well.
Yeah, so there's potential to drop points here. So it could happen earlier than that.
It could happen much earlier, and then Liverpool would win it.
Because Liverpool have Watford. They've got Watford, Bournemouth.
Yeah, they've got 3 weak. Well, not weak because there's no weak teams.
Weaker opposition. Yeah,
teams that are low in the table. Yeah. West Ham was second last, so. That they almost won.
Yeah.
And that's all before they come to Manchester City. So there's every chance that Manchester City have to give Liverpool the guard of honour.
That's funny.
That's the other thing. So, but I'm not seeing this game when Liverpool play against Everton. That's in match day.
Should be in 4 weeks or something.
There you go, match day 30.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I think it's less than 4 weeks. That's like 3 weeks. So I think Man City do need to drop points.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But,
right. I got that wrong.
No, I think if they don't drop points, then Liverpool win it just before they play Man City, and Man City have to give them a guard of honour. So
that's funny.
Well, I think that's respectful.
Oh, too, no, you're right. It's not against.
They have a.
They'll clinch it at home against Crystal Palace.
Yes.
So my bad.
Yes, but if Man City drop points,
then it'll be at Everton,
which seems likely.
Yeah.
And they'll win all their games, which seems likely.
Yeah.
Which means it won't happen. But the mutual respect they have for each other, I don't think they'll actually mind that. Manchester City giving a guard of honour to. Because it's a weird rivalry, isn't it? It's not like
it is a weird rivalry.
Past rivalries where teams will stomp on each other's feet and try and hurt players and get people sent off.
It's
that.
It's a genuine respect for the competition.
Yeah, because both the coaches have the philosophy of it's sort of this honourable football, philosophy, and they're both sort of like we're not going to go to the dark arts kind of thing. As opposed to, say, like the Mourinho-Ferguson rivalries that they had with teams, that's pretty much why Arsenal fell off the scene, because they weren't up to they weren't ready to play in the mud. Let's just say they were trying to be too honourable and trying to play beautiful football.
Yeah,
sad story. But but yeah, the next week coming up, there's not. Like I said, a couple of fixtures that will be postponed because Manchester City is not playing, Aston Villa is not playing against Sheffield. But there's actually no big fixtures next week other than a couple semi-big.
Semi-big. The biggest one for me is Tottenham and Wolves.
Yeah,
and then you've got Everton
and Manchester United.
That's about it, really.
And Everton sort of slipped away a bit from that. Although the thing is, if they beat Manchester United, they're 2 points behind. So,
well, they could. It's the nature of the league.
So
it's very competitive.
And Chelsea will be very happy if that happens.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I guess Tottenham and Wolves. Wolves aren't that far behind either. So they're both potentially sort of pushing for that 5th spot now, because Manchester City.
That's right.
Looks very.
That is right.
It's very likely that there's at least a possibility that they will not be part of the Champions League next season. So the top 5 is where you want to be to get into that.
That is definitely it.
But that's definitely a wrap for today. So thank you all for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you enjoy our content, please share it around.
We're on Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube. We've got a Facebook page.
So
Cosmic Commentary.
Yeah, so we try and keep the Facebook page has everything there. So check those out if you haven't already done so. If you're on Facebook, etc.
Yeah.
And enjoy the weekend, and we'll speak to you next time.
Yeah, talk to you then.